Hey everybody, it's me, Mary Arnold, and I'm going to talk to you about the dentures. I am 22 days out, whatever, from extractions since my E-Day, and we still have problems. Makeup is a bitch. They just want to stick to your lips, right? Your dentures. So put a little chapstick on your lips or on your dentures, just a little bit, and it will help keep the lipstick off of your dentures. Okay, so if you have already went through a couple of your adjustments, a couple of your relines, soft relines or whatever, and you still notice the gaps, see, it's a pretty good gap right there. So what I have found is, first, before you put the adhesive on or whatever you're using, because the adhesive is a glue, of course, and some adhesives forms a gel, a cushion, and it gets a little thicker, right? And it fills in some of the crinks and crannies. So a trick is to put your loose dentures in, memorize which side is looser. Don't push the dentures over and then try to fill in the bigger gap. Make it the same gap around, okay? So if you have this much space on this side, make sure you have that much space on this side. And if it is the front, because mine's the front for some reason, more so than the back or the sides or the palate. I don't know. I keep thinking that they got these teeth a little too close, and when I put them in my natural bite, it just pushes them out a little further. So I'm constantly trying to push my dentures, back to get them lined up with the front gum, but it's not working out that way. And it probably won't until they put that hard reline on. So, I was checking my cameras. It looked like somebody was here. So what I've done was put them in, do your cheese, and it does your best bite, so you don't overthink your bite, and where your teeth should line up and all that, right? So, and then look which side is more loose, which side is got the bigger gap, which side is, So put more adhesive on this side, less adhesive on this side to balance it out. That's what I'm trying to get to. Boy, my nose is itching. Then, another thing is chewing. Does not matter how much adhesive you use. If you don't do the first thing, learning how to adjust, if you don't do that, then later on when you start to eat and you get that hard fry or that burger that's got that little tough spot and you're chewing on this side, and then you notice this side pops off, or you're doing this side and this side pops off, okay? So if you're experiencing that, again, make sure you adjust your adhesive to fill in the bigger gaps. Balancing act, you gotta make a little graph in your head and say, okay, well, this one's like 2 millimeters off, and this one's a little bit off on this, and this one's a little off on the front. So you gotta remember this, and then tomorrow, the whole thing changes. And you gotta do it again. So until you get it, realigned and fitted, this is how you can just make it to that next dentist appointment. You know what I mean? And it doesn't really take a genius to do it. It doesn't take that long to do it. I used a powder adhesive, and it's just, okay, pull it out real quick, put a little bit more, do that, start biting, get you a piece of Jolly Rancher, and go, okay, this side, if I bite too hard, it's going to pop off, put a little bit more on this side. This side, it stays still, but just kind of ease up on your bite. This side, when I'm pulling, it pops the palate. So put a little bit more in the back of the palate versus the front of the palate. You know what I mean? So you just learn how to balance it out. Another thing, I've never had a problem with biting like that. Biting. That's not my problem. My problem is where I had these teeth hurting and broke so much, top and bottom. I would always chew on this side. And now I still try to chew on this side. So that is my biggest problem. I'll be chewing on this side and then bam, the dentures get popped off on this side. It gets loose. And I'm like, crap. So I'll go in, I'll put a little bit more adhesive in there. Doesn't matter how strong the adhesive is. If you just chew on one side, you will always have that problem. Okay? Always. You have to chew. A balancing act is like a teeter-totter. I hear. Okay? So, if you're chewing on this side, what's going to happen? It's going to wiggle this side loose. If you're chewing on that side, it's going to wiggle that side loose. If you're just chewing in the front, here and here, it is going to wiggle your palate loose. Okay? So, you have to balance it out. Okay? Balance it out. Now, for chewing the bite, if you just do these two teeth, you're going to pop it loose. Try to bite from here to here. Bigger bite. But, not longer bite, but a bigger bite on the width, not the length. So you want to do that. It's going to pop everything loose if it's too hard. It's just going to happen. It is, gravity. It is leverage. It is angles. It's all of that stuff. Geometry, baby. So you need to bite more with this side to this side. And it's not going to pop loose. Okay. So that is another trick with biting that cheeseburger, with biting that carrot, with that, with biting anything. My biggest problem is small stuff, lettuce, as long as the lettuce is, iceberg lettuce, I can chew it. But if it is that one layer, real thin, paper thin, I can't, it's just like I cannot chew it up. Bread is still an issue for me with the roof of my mouth, but I'm working with that. I find a problem area and I'm going to do nothing but work on that problem area, and bread was mine. And it would just get everywhere in the teeth, in the back of my palate, in the front of my palate, and the top of my palate. So, what I've learned is, and this will make you lose weight too. So, I'll eat a piece, like a cheeseburger with the hamburger bun on it, or a hot dog, and I will chew it up as best as I can. Then when it gets stuck on the palate, drink a little bit of water with it, squish, and swallow. Eat again. Same thing. Maybe 2 bites. I can go to 2 bites and it not bother me. But that third bite, I might have all that bread stuck somewhere again. So I'll take another sip, squish it out. And it's not the ideal way of eating, because you just don't want to keep drinking and get full with water, but it will help you lose weight. But it helps you work on those problem areas. What can you do? How can you fix it? Problem solving, Can I take 5 bites without drinking, today? Let's try that. Let's try 6 bites without drinking. My problem too is I can't put that thing right there, like, normal front teeth or, regular top teeth. You could just, with your tongue. Well, having dentures, it spreads out more. It's more bulky. Your tongue may or may not be used to fitting in these new areas because the width is bigger. So now I'm trying to and I can't reach it. So, and I don't want to stick my finger in there, because you just don't really want to do that in front of people. So I've learned squish after every bite. Then I worked on every 2 bites, then 3 bites, So, and then practice while I'm watching TV, stretching that, see if I can work it out. And it's helped a little bit, it takes time. So, another thing is people getting aggravated. Like I said, I was on day 22 right now. April 6th was my E-Day. These are my real bottom teeth, and it does help a lot. I cannot give you any suggestions on the bottom teeth except for what I have heard and seen in the nursing home. And it's a balancing act. It's a teeter-totter. Same thing for your bottoms or floaters. They're really not going to have no kind of suction. They're just going to be glued in there and poorly fit. Some days are better than others. Some days they may fit perfect. And you're like, why? Why is tomorrow different? Well, every day is different because you lose 2 pounds when you sleep. You gain 2 pounds by 12 o'clock, lunchtime. You may lose 2 more pounds by 7 o'clock. So each time that water weight in your face shrinks, your dentures are going to loosen. Each time you swell up, they're going to get tighter. Each time you healing process, the swelling, maybe today you only ate soft foods and your gums didn't swell up. But maybe tomorrow you ate that pork chop that was a little too chewy, so now your gums are swollen up and they fit better. So these are all factors that's going to happen forever. And that's something that you're going to have to get used to and learn to adjust with your adhesive, your gels, the C-bond, just every day is going to be different. Every 4 hours might be different. Every 5 days might be different. Even when you're completely healed and you're 3 years into dentures, these are factors that's going to happen. Summertime, they're going to be loose. Wintertime, they're going to be fitting because you gain weight, you lose weight, So these are things that you're going to have to just realize that even with the pop-in dentures, even with the implant dentures, the more hard foods you eat, the more likely your dentures are going to be looser. The more soft foods, the more they might fit. But then, the more soft foods you eat, I'm fixing ham, it smells so good, like Christmas ham. But, the more soft foods you eat, the more problems you're going to have. It falling in between the cracks. It's going in your palate. You have to adjust them, the glue because, it happens. Hot food. The more hot food, the more hot drinks, coffee, tea, blah, 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 that you drink, the more likely, your dentures are going to pop off. The cold stuff, the more likely that they're going to stay in place. So, like me, when I'm eating bread, I just drink cold water with it because I know that while I'm struggling with that damn bread, I want my dentures to try to stay as best as they can while I'm, fighting with the bread. So I don't want to have to fight with them popping off while I'm fighting with that bread problem I got. So cold helps, but soda will make it pop off too because of the, bubbles and carbonation. That's what I'm trying to think of. So these are factors that you got to think of. Okay, well, this is the food that I'm struggling with, and I really want that carrot, or I really want that cheeseburger, or I really want that, chewy pork chop. So I will sacrifice my soda and drink water until I get that sucker down. And then when I work on my mashed potatoes and macaroni, I can just drink my soda after that. So you got to compromise and you got to sacrifice a little bit, So doing that will help. And again, work on your bite. Everybody, you've got to remember some foods it's okay to use those 4 teeth. But if you start using that tooth, your canines, from your canines to your other canines, if you start doing that with the bite, it will work better. Now, if you can do the bite from right behind your canines, it will work out better. See? It's not popping loose. So, and it gives you that stronger hold. It balances out, blah, 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 on all ends. Top, bottom, these are all balancing acts. Same for your bottom teeth. It's a teeter-totter. You just put pressure right here. This side's going to pop up because it's going to go, woohoo! It's a slide. You just threw me up in the air. So you gotta, from the canines, bite and chew. Chew on both sides. It doesn't matter if it's not about how much, food you have on each side. It is that you have something on each side. Because while you chew on this, you got to have something on that side, and it can be just the smallest piece. And what it is you don't want that gap while you chewing on this to have that gap, because it's going to pop loose. So get something to put there too, so that you can just chew. So those are things that in the group that I'm in, that I've been reading, people are having a lot of problems with. And of course, moral support. If you don't have somebody moral support and they're ragging on you, or you feel like they're ragging on you and they're just trying to make you feel good by making you laugh, but you're taking it the wrong way, that's a you issue. You got to stop feeling so, oh my God, I'm old, I'm ugly, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? You just faster getting your dentures than they are. They're eventually going to get them, okay? So while you got yours first, remember that. Remember, hey, look, by the time you get yours, I've done figured mine out. And since I figured mine out, I'm good. I'll be all right. But you're going to be like, 10 years from now getting yours, and you ain't going to bounce back as good. Stuff like that. You got to get a little tough if that's the case. And also have a sense of humor. Laugh about it. I know it's embarrassing. You eating and your dentures fall out, or you about choke on a piece of bread. It's embarrassing. We're not going to say it ain't, but it's how you react to it. Like me, I'm like, God, I almost died with a freaking piece of bread. Can you believe that? That's what, after everything I've been through all my life, that's how I would go. And then you laugh about it. And then in the bathroom while you clean your dentures, damn piece of bread, like, killed me. Just, and you learn to laugh with stuff. You got to roll with it, because 9 times out of 10, most of these people that's going to hurt your feelings, not mean to, because they joke with you all your life. And so they really probably don't know that this is a really touchy subject to you, if you're that sensitive. So they're just going to joke with you just like they do any other thing that you do. You fall down the steps, they're going to laugh at you if you're not hurt. So you got that going, or that going. They're going to laugh at you. It's no different. So you got to take it and roll with it. But if it is just somebody cruel, no, I ain't going to date you because you ain't got no teeth, make fun. Well, you just don't know what it's like, or, when you get yours, let's see how well you act, you got to just roll with it. I'm lucky to have a husband that just don't freaking care, because he loves me the way I am, no matter what. And I'm the same way with him. But 41 years. I'm getting ready to turn 41. So 21 years together, we've earned that right to joke around, pick around, support each other, go through the same stuff together. He was actually a little bit faster than me by a year, because I just waited that year. My dog. Sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, you just gotta roll with it. Don't let nobody put you down because one, you've done this for you. Don't matter what anybody else thinks. You done this so you can look good, if that was the case. Eat. That was my case. Feel better. Get those sore teeth out. And if you don't stop now and, get a little bit of tougher skin. Ain't nobody in this world ever gonna please you. You do not deserve that right to be walking through town or this world and everybody bow down to you and feel your pain and be sensitive. That's just not this world. And if you think it is, then that's the problem with this world. Okay. So you're going to have to learn to take a little bit of that hate, take a little bit of that aggravation, that little bit of hurt feelings. Look at my hair. My goat, girls, well, not my goat, but I babysitted a goat. And this goat was bottle fed, in diapers, in onesies, cutest little thing ever. Would not stay in my pen that I had for it indoors. So I let it sleep on my lap and woke up to, I have half-ass bangs now because the goat ate it. Ate my hair. Right on front. But at least it wasn't on top and took all of it. But, I walk around like this. I don't give a shit what anybody else thinks. I have a story, like a war wound. And, walk around proudly with it. Because, who else can say they had their hair ate by a goat? So, you gotta roll with the negativity. It's a very sensitive subject. But a lot of people ain't gonna get that. They're not gonna show that. And if you have hillbilly family like I do, you just know. So, as soon as you can, get it out of the way. Pop those teeth out. Smile all over the place and say, yeah, that's what they look like. Look how well I healed. Look how well I done myself. Look how good I look now. And they'll shut up. It's simple. If you're not married and you have to have a date and you're worried about that, in the middle, I wouldn't do it like right off the top, but sometimes squeeze it in. Like, man, baby girl, baby boy, whatever you're dating, say, I gotta go and I gotta rinse my dentures off. That's how easy it is to slide that in there and make them know that you have dentures. Okay, don't wait till that night and say, okay, let me take them out. While you're on a date, eating popcorn, say, all right, I'll be right back. I gotta go wash my dentures out real quick. I'm sorry. They ain't gonna say nothing. And if they do, and they don't call you back, then that person wasn't meant for you. You don't go, oh, well, I shouldn't have got dentures. No, you should have got dentures. If you got dentures, you got them for a reason. Don't let nobody else take that out, okay? Seeing things, hearing things. But just remember to lighten up. Don't let people get underneath your skin. If it hurts your feelings, go to the bathroom, cry, come back out like a queen or a king. And I hope some of those tips and tricks help you out. During a nursing home, being a nurse, I know that it's like shoes. You're going to have adjustments every now and then. You're going to have fill-ins, realigns. You're going to have to change your glues, your adhesives. You're going to have to deal with cracks. You're going to have to deal with missing teeth. You're going to have to deal with getting them replaced, and they're expensive. And you're just going to have to deal with that. There's no getting around it now that you have dentures. So if money is an issue like it is with me, I would ask your dentist if you can do an account for these things that you're going to have to. You're just going to have soft relines, hard relines, new dentures, whatever. Go to a bank account, get a savings account, forget about it, put money in it every week, don't touch it. Save up for those unexpected costs, okay? Because one day, your front tooth's going to pop off. It's just going to happen. You're going to eat a banana or something, it's going to wiggle loose. And you're going to have it replaced. Maybe you accidentally laughed so hard, your dentures flew on the concrete or the pavement, parking lot, and they cracked, just like a cell phone. Okay, just like a cell phone, anything can happen. Problem is, we're not going to be prepared because we ain't thinking about that right now. Right now, we're in the beginning stages and we're just thinking, well, maybe in a month or two, we'll be done and over and it'll be just done. Well, it's not going to be that way. I'm not going to lie to you. This is a never-ending thing. Never ending. And the best that we can hope for is each visit is spaced out more. That's all we can do. That maybe my next visit will be 6 weeks. Then the next one might be a couple months. A few more months. Maybe a year. But when those things do happen, we got to be prepared. So take the time as soon as you can get better, as soon as you can, start putting money back for that $450 reline. Or if you go to Aspen, which, sometimes these Aspens and denture cares and all that, they seem, in my group, they seem more expensive than your local dentist. I don't know why, but my dentist office didn't cost nothing like what they're talking about. Nothing. So, and then also, you're going to continue to have sore spots, just like eating dry cereal. You're going to have those sore spots on the roof of your mouth, on the in-betweens, on your inner jaws. Women, I'm not sure about men, but women, you will start getting yeast. Got that? Yeast on your lips from having dentures. Some women produce more, and it will show up like little bumps all over your face, all over wherever your dentures are. So be aware of that. Look into treatments for that, over-the-counter meds, little hacks and doodads. Thrash. Look into that. If you rinse your mouth too much, if you don't rinse your mouth enough, if you don't realize that in the back of your tooth you had a rice in there for, a year, whatever, you're going to have breakouts. Maybe one day they don't have your overnight cleaning, so you try a different brand and you end up breaking out. These are things that you got to be prepared for and how to handle it and what to look for. And as soon as you get your stitches out and you're starting to be able to eat better, stuff like that, start looking into these things that can happen. Start saving for it if you are hard up on money. And another thing is, there was something else on top of my head and I just forgot it. We did the yeast, we did tips and tricks, balancing acts. Maybe I have to do it in the next video. I forgot it. But, working through these problems, you will grow and you'll get used to them. And thicken up on your emotions. I'm old school. My mom and daddy and everybody in my family taught me, toughen the hell up. Don't worry about what other people think. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, you live under the Lord's will and His Word, and you're doing things for the right reasons, there are going to be haters. Tons of haters. There are going to be more haters than lovers and friends, okay? I'm just saying. But, oh yeah, that's what it was. Losing weight. I've lost 20 pounds. 20 pounds. Hallelujah. I'm happy though, but 20 pounds since I got my dentures. And that was April the 6th. April the 6th. So I'm like averaging almost a pound a day, okay? I'm just saying. A little over a pound. And I'm happy that I'm going to lose weight. but you will lose a ton of weight because you're relearning everything. So you'll get used to that. Don't worry. If it becomes a problem, if you see, I'm chunky, so I'm good for a while. But if you're already skinny like my husband was, and he ended up losing weight, try those protein drinks, ensures, stuff like that to help you balance it. Vitamins, make sure you take your vitamins. These are things that you're going to have to watch. So I've noticed that I was losing weight, but I'm eating, but I'm not eating as much. And it has nothing to do with my dentures. It's my appetite. I just don't want to eat no more. Not, one good meal a day. That's all I want. So keep that in mind and, work it out. Make sure you keep yourself healthy. And, like I said, ensures, vitamins, force yourself to eat if necessary. Go back to your soft foods, whatever it is, but try to get something in you. You're going to lose a lot of weight. Even when you're able to eat, even when the soreness stops, even when you start, healing, some people will still lose a lot of weight. So I hope that's enough tips for today, and I will catch up with you probably in the next week video. So if you have any questions, please leave them down. By all means, no expert. Just going to tell you like it is. And hope for the best. Every day is a journey. Every day is a struggle. And enjoy the days that is peaceful. Take the time to sit on your porch, balcony, wherever you live, and just relax for 30 minutes a day. Forget your problems and have a good day.